In a dense forest, a biologist named Ish lives alone, immersed in his research. One day, while working, a poisonous snake bites him. In a panic, he drops his phone, cutting off any chance to call for help. Desperate, he tries to suck the venom from the wound, but it's no use. He stumbles back to his shelter and makes a small cut to drain the poison, but the venom spreads, plunging him into vivid hallucinations. For days, he lies helpless, barely clinging to life. A team of scientists arrives to find him, but Ish, too weak to call out, watches them leave, believing he's gone. Days later, the cut he made begins to work, slowly expelling the poison. His mind starts to clear, though faint hallucinations linger. Regaining his strength, Ish decides to seek help at a city hospital. He cleans his car and drives toward the city, but the roads are eerily empty. When he arrives, the city is a ghost. Town buildings stand deserted, and no one is alive. A deadly pandemic has swept through, wiping out the population in mere days. Living in isolation for his research, Ish realizes his seclusion spared him from the disease. With no government, no owners, and no society left, he's alone in a silent world. Grief strikes as Ish drives to his parents' home, only to find their decayed bodies. Heartbroken, he buries them outside their house, tears streaming down his face. The next morning, he surveys the lifeless city and decides to search for survivors elsewhere. Choosing Las Vegas as his destination, he packs a gun and essentials, but a sealed bridge blocks his path. Frustrated but determined, he reaches Las Vegas, only to find it as empty as the last city. Exhausted, he checks into a hotel, indulging in luxuries that now cost nothing. Hope fades until, one night, he meets two other survivors, a woman and a man. The woman shares her tragic story, recounting how she watched her family die over a video call, leaving her hopeless. The man, crushed by loneliness, confesses he'd rather die than endure this empty world. They spend the night with Ish, but by morning, he senses danger in their demeanor. The man, armed with a gun, seems ready to end their lives for a merciful death. Ish, determined to survive, slips away. As he leaves, fire of gun echo behind him, signaling their suicides. The loss deepens his sense of isolation, and he feels utterly alone. Driving home at reckless speed, Ish nearly hits a stray dog. Darting across the road, seeing a kindred spirit in its loneliness, he adopts it, finding a spark of hope. Back home, he dives into survival books, with no shortage of food or need to earn a living. Each day, he roams the town, searching for others, but returns empty-handed. One evening, as he sips tea by the window with his dog, the animal barks wildly, sensing something. In the distance, smoke rises from a house. Ish races toward it and finds a frightened girl. He reassures her he means no harm, explaining he's also a survivor searching for others. The girl, Emma, invites him inside. Through their talk, Ish learns it's been a year since the pandemic began, and neither has seen another soul until now. Relieved to find each other, they acknowledge how isolation has worn down their mental health. Humans, after all, thrive on connection. They decide to live together at Ish's house, close to a general store and stocked with supplies. Emma moves in, and their lives improve. She helps Ish tidy his appearance and spruce up his neglected home. They work as a team, setting daily goals to rebuild their space and their spirits. Together, they confront the reality of being the last humans to repopulate. They agree to start a family. Though Ish grows anxious about raising children in this strange world, Emma reassures him, and as a biologist, Ish studies books on childbirth. Knowing they'll need to manage delivery alone, they perfect their home, installing solar panels for steady power. As years pass, cities revert to wilderness, with wild animals creeping in to stay safe. They build a fence and keep weapons handy. They adopt pets for companionship, and the clean air and greenery boost their health. One day, a swarm of rats invades the city. Alarming Ish, he burns trash around the house to repel them, but it's a temporary fix. Emma calms him, promising they'll find a solution. At dawn, Ish releases cats around the property, which hunt the rats and resolve the problem. Time passes, and the day of Emma's delivery arrives. Ish, relying on his studies, guides her through it. Emma gives birth to a healthy girl, and their joy reignites their hope for the future. With their daughter, they embrace a new chapter, determined to survive and rebuild in a world that's theirs alone. Ish and Emma paint their address on roads across town, hoping other survivors will find their home for food and shelter. 6 years pass. One day, while driving to the forest for work, Ish nearly hits a wild animal that darts in front of his car. He steps out, shaken, and sees the creature suffering but alive. To end its pain, he shoots it from a distance. A girl watches, terrified by the fire of a gun. She flees into the forest, and Ish, spotting her, chases after her, not to harm but to help. As he and Emma are searching for others, the girl, scared, thinks he means trouble. But when Ish offers her an apple, she realizes he's kind. He invites her home, but she refuses to sit in the car, choosing the trunk instead. At home, she stays in the trunk, too frightened to come out. Emma and Ish now have 2 children, with a third on the way, thanks to the addresses they painted. 2 more survivors, Jorge and Marini, have joined them, living together for the past year with plenty of supplies. The girl from the forest, still in the trunk, spends the night there. In the morning, Marini brings her food, but the girl, startled, throws it away. Marini soothes her, sharing how she and Jorge wandered alone for months before finding Ish and Emma's address. She explains they're good people with everything they need. Comforted, the girl opens up but remains quiet, never sharing her name. One day, Marini finds the girl's belongings and discovers odd drawings and a letter revealing her name, Evie. The letter, written by Evie's dying mother, explains that her father mistreated her during the pandemic, leaving her terrified of strangers. It asks whoever finds her to care for her. Moved, the group showers Evie with kindness. That night, Emma gives birth to her 3rd child, filling the house with joy. A year later, word spreads that someone has entered their area. Alarmed, they send the children inside and grab their guns to investigate. They find a group of 4 survivors who followed Ish and Emma's address. Among them is a doctor named Molly, who says she's only met these 4 years until now. Their friendly demeanor reassures Ish and Emma, who welcome them into the family. As resources are abundant, Ish lays out survival rules for the newcomers: always carry weapons, as the world is now a wilderness where wild animals roam. When gathering supplies, they must travel in groups to stay safe. The group heads to malls and hospitals to collect goods. Molly, as a doctor, gathers medical supplies to treat the community. Years pass, and the group grows with many children born, including from other couples. Ish teaches the kids about the old world, how humans survived, preparing them for the future. Life feels stable, but their home is surrounded by a dense forest. One day, a massive lion emerges from it. Ish spots it and moves to protect the children, but the lion attacks, mauling him. The group arrives and the lion flees. Emma, furious, tracks it down and shoots it. Molly and the others act quickly to save Ish, and after weeks of treatment, he recovers fully. 17 years pass, and the children are now young adults. Ish's eldest daughter, Heather, grows close to a boy in the group. Their bond is accepted, as relationships are vital for their community's future. Heather and the boy want to leave town to explore the world and find other survivors. The group supports them, equipping them with supplies and weapons for the journey. But a new problem arises after they leave. The community's water supply is dwindling. They visit the dam and find it drying up, posing a dangerous threat to their survival. A few days later, another group of survivors arrives with 2 trucks, low on fuel. They ask Ish for petrol, offering to solve the community's water shortage with their drilling machine. Ish sees value in the deal and welcomes them but urges everyone to stay vigilant. The newcomers start drilling at Ish's house as agreed. After days of effort, water flows and the community celebrates. Ish provides the petrol, and the group plans to leave in the morning. That night, Ish notices the group's leader, Charlie, sneaking out of a room. A guard investigates and discovers Charlie has harmed Evie. Ish alerts the community, and Evie reveals Charlie bragged about staying because of their supplies and weapons. Sparking fear, Ish believes Charlie must be stopped to protect their hard-built community. Most agree to kill him, though some argue that with so few people left, his death would be a loss. Ish insists that sparing Charlie risks their survival. They devise a plan, surround Charlie, and before he can speak, Ish kills him with an axe. Guilt weighs on Ish as he buries Charlie, his first time taking a life. Though he knows it was to save his people, sadness lingers. In the morning, Ish tells Charlie's group about the killing, explaining Charlie's actions. Most aren't upset, revealing Charlie abused others in their group too. Only Charlie's friend is furious, but the rest are relieved. Ish invites the group to stay, as they have plenty, but excludes Charlie's friend, fearing he's dangerous. Like Charlie, after debate, the community expels Charlie's friend. He leaves but returns, unable to survive alone. Ish, prioritizing safety, refuses him re-entry. Meanwhile, the community's children work on a project from old research, planning to launch it soon, but a new crisis hits. A virus from 20 years ago infects several members, including Ish's son. Though previously immune, they now fall ill. Molly, the doctor, treats them with her medicines, but Ish's son's condition worsens, worrying everyone. Amid this, Ish's daughter, Heather, returns home alone. Sobbing, she recounts their journey, searching cities and marking their address but finding no one in a forest. They met a man who killed her partner, claiming revenge for Charlie. It was the friend Ish banished. Heather killed him to escape and came home. Grief deepens as Ish's son dies, followed by 3 more community members. Devastated, Ish loses the will to live, but Emma reminds him how they built a life from nothing. She urges him to stay strong for the children who need his guidance to rebuild the world. Inspired, Ish hikes to the mountains to watch the sunrise. The fresh, vibrant nature shows him this is a new world, not the old one he's been teaching his kids to survive in. Back home, he tells the children they've been learning the wrong lessons, preparing for a past that no longer exists. He declares they must learn from nature and adapt to this new world to reconnect. They build a radio network, strengthening communication. Ish organizes social events, helping the kids learn to live and work together. He doesn't stop there. He ventures beyond the community, restoring the city and its hotels, aiming to improve surrounding areas. In the film's final scene, an elderly Ish shares the story with his grandson, saying, "This world belongs to your generation and it's yours to carry forward."